is why I wear the headset. You're catching us laughing because we're talking about the background noise. My name is Carla Campos. I'm the founder of Social Tech Lab, and I'm here with one of our awesome speakers, Dr. Lisa Richardson, founder of Tumblroute. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Hi, Carla. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hanging in here.
Indeed.
So can you tell us more about your company and what you guys do?
Well, Tumblroute is an economic development marketing firm, and we help cities get connected to provide more user-friendly services and also to get more engagement from their citizens and their public officials.
And how does your company do this? What are connected cities?
Connected cities, I don't know if you've heard the term smart cities coming up more and more often. Connected cities are those who are visible in more than one place. They're able to be visible to their citizens and to investors. A lot of times when they think of economic development, they think of bringing another huge company in town to invest in their neighborhoods. But what we want from our connected cities is a more personal connection between public officials like the sheriff's office, public defense, public safety, as well as even the tax office and the mayor's office, so that there's an open flow of communication between citizens and officials. And we do that through helping them get their social media accounts together, not just automated messages, but real actual conversations between, it's not always going to be the mayor, of course, but an actual conversation between City Hall and the constituency.
So there are a lot of social media companies that kind of offer generic social media. Mm-hmm. And I know you're saying connected cities and more about the conversation. Can you kind of elaborate on that, the importance of the actual communications going on between the citizens rather than just like a post that is generic from a social media company?
Well, in general, government social media has a lot of rules. Of course, any corporate social media account is going to have its own set of rules, but government communications have to be vetted so that they are ensuring the safety of their citizens, especially things like publishing road closings and alternate routes, or even giving information about disturbances that are taking place in town that the public safety or the police department would want to share. Because of the kinds of conversations that are had, it's important not just to know how to engage customers, but engage citizens into not just feeling like they're being spat at, but also to get them also coming to City Hall and to public officials with their own concerns. A lot of the times the conversations that they have only take place when they go to pay a bill or if there is a town hall meeting. And sometimes, and more often than not, that town hall meeting is at 6 o'clock on a Thursday. Well, that's in the middle of dinner time. That's hard for a lot of families. But then they'll turn around and say that there's no engagement. No one's interested in how the city is run. And that's not necessarily the case. Having those conversations via social media allow the citizens and the city themselves to have those conversations on an ongoing basis, 24/7, and really get both sides heard.
Awesome. Do you feel that this saves the city money? Because sometimes these questions that can be answered quickly, maybe online, people go to the offices and wait on long lines and for these questions that are pretty simple. So do you feel that social media and being connected online helps cities save money?
Absolutely. What happens a lot of the time is that, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What happens a lot of the time is that, as you say, these questions are asked over and over and over in the office or on the phone, and people are getting upset. But what cities need to understand, even with directing folks online, many times that website is not user-friendly. It's not designed to make them happy. And so in order to really realize the savings on that, it's very, very important that either they upgrade existing sites or invest in a new design that is more user-friendly and allows someone who doesn't have every latest piece of equipment or every device to get online and pay their water bill or pay their property taxes without getting frustrated by it. And that is so hard to do in many, many cities across the country.
And you're so right, because it's so funny. I'm in the process of moving, but this has been repeating in the past that the government websites are so hard to navigate. They don't connect well, like they don't link well to where you need to go. It frustrates people. Then they have to get on the phone and call because they just don't want to be online, like trying to figure it out. Like the website is not user friendly, like you say. So for your talk at Social Tech Live, would you be providing maybe some tips on how they governments and websites can be friendlier to their users so that they can have less lines in person and maybe help more people?
We'll be giving, yes, I'll be giving some basic tips for user interface, as well as how to make sure that the communication that they have is not just kind of a random town hall is this date, there's going to be a food truck day on this date, but rather than just a bulletin board, that it becomes, as I said, a conversation. And so I'll be giving some specific tips. One of the best tips that I ever give in user design is everything that you need to do on a website should be done in three clicks or less. So that's coming to the website, finding the department, and getting to the payment screen. That should be 3 clicks or less for the vast majority of interfaces, especially government websites, where you're serving a citizenry that represents a wide variety of ages, backgrounds, education, and device. I mean, even if you just think of someone who uses Android all the time, having to use an iPhone, that is a big change in the way that you do things. And so it needs to be understood easily. And that's what a well-designed user interface does.
And usually when it comes to government websites, I noticed there's a lot of PDF downloads. Mm-hmm. Would you be maybe sharing like better ways that people could just sign electronically or make these processes smoother so that there's no extra work and things just kind of flow faster?
Well, much of the time when cities were first getting their websites updated, moving towards a PDF download was a huge step forward. And so at this point, many of them are not yet at the point where they're ready to do an interface change, but even an online form. But a lot of that problem also comes in when we're talking about security and making sure that the company that designs the new site has also been vetted for security and protecting the data of the citizens, as well as the important departments such as finance and tax.
No, that's very important, because there's a lot of security breaches and passwords being stolen and a lot of bank accounts being in trouble because of electronic sharing. So that is definitely an important part, a component of being a connected city. Will you be touching on some of the security measures throughout your talk, or is that something that is?
We won't be talking too much about security. We as a company do outsource that particular part of it because we want to make sure that we have the highest expertise in that area. We focus more on the user interface design and the first line of communication. So we usually bring in a network security administrator from another organization for that. And we also want to make sure that we're not trying. We don't want the IT department in the city to feel like we're making them irrelevant. And so it's also important for us to develop relationships with the professionals that are already on site.
Oh, and that's really important, to work with the people already on the department working on the specific thing. So you're just kind of enhancing what they have and bringing it to a social,
right,
to the social platforms.
We see ourselves as an expansion of the existing team. We don't want to replace anyone. And
you were talking earlier before we got online about the social sheriff and what's going on in some of the police departments of trying to change like the perspective of the police department.
Yes, lately the police have been taking a lot of hits because of some very legitimate concerns in how they relate to the public, how they deal with deal with citizens as who are the same and who are different from them. And recently there's kind of been a dance off with the Running Man where police departments are challenging each other to a dance off, and things like that humanize the department. And recently there was a session on Nightline about the new chief of the police department in Watts, LA. And that is one of the places where relationships between the police and the people have been very, very contentious. And what they've done is try to develop relationships all around the country. Police departments are trying to connect with citizens as real people and not potential perps. And engaging on social media is one way to do that. And so we encourage local departments to start developing that relationship before it gets bad, before something happens where they have to do a big PR change. And so we help communities and counties get online and help the police departments as well as the other public officials to present a human face for the department.
Amazing. That's really wonderful because, you know, sometimes even just connecting with people online who are different than you makes you realize that they're not so different than you. You know, just having that open communication that maybe causes so much trouble out in the real world, you know, because you don't have the connection. People can't talk to you. Hey, that's Jimmy or that's Jeff or that's whoever from down the street. And, you know, maybe they have a appearance of a dog or something, you know, those terms that we don't like to use, but they're really cool people that if we would have talked to them maybe online, we would have known that, you know? So
right.
Those lines of communication, opening the diversity, opening to those talks is really important.
Absolutely. And it also helps the city to stop looking like this big monolith of an idea of a building that's City Hall, and makes it more of the people that make up that city and that life.
What are some of the most connected cities that come to mind in your head right now?
Well, recently, another company, DCI, did a Twitter report to analyze the most engaged mayors on Twitter, and the winner was the mayor of Baltimore. And she has said that the ability to talk to citizens on a regular basis throughout the day has been great for her and her city. And so I use that report when I talk to other mayors and to other public officials to get them more engaged. But Baltimore, I would say, at the top of my list. Atlanta, of course, is also very connected. Mayor Reed does tweet often. But the difference with the mayor of Baltimore is that she tweets herself. It's not the communications office. It's not an intern. It's her, you know. And what's important is that these are the people that have more of an effect on your daily life than the president does. But we look at the current campaign and how the candidates are doing, and we analyze their social media, but we don't really look often at the local officials. I mean, when you really think about it, you're only thinking about your federal taxes once a year, but every day you think about how much it costs to park in your town, how much is your water bill, what is the rate, and these things are decided much, much closer to home. So it's very important that folks get involved, and it's our responsibility, we feel, to help more communities get that way.
And, you know, from talking to you and listening to everything you're saying and agreeing that it's very important, I would probably like to extend an invitation for people in the cities here in Miami to attend for free just to hear your talk. So maybe we'll put something together, because no, it's so important. And, you know, and you say some amazing and wonderful things that I think are really important out there to get to these officials who perhaps don't know, you know, the importance of social media,
right,
doing the communication and engaging with citizens, and how it just makes the cities we live in better places. So, you know, kudos to you for the great work that you're doing out there.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if anyone wants to get more social, get more connected, government officials want to get more connected cities, how do they reach you, Dr. Lisa?
They can find us at Tumblroute.com. That's TUMBLR. I got the shirt. TUMBLRROUTE. And you can find us on most social media at Tumblroute, except for Facebook, which is Go Tumblroute. And we're easy to find. I answer questions in the supermarket. I have also given advice on my way to pay my own bills. So we are very accessible.
And that's awesome. So thank you so much for being here with us today. Everyone, you can find Dr. Lisa at the places she has said on social media. And also she'll be at Social Tech Live answering your questions one-on-one, talking about connected cities. So thank you, Dr. Lisa, again. Everybody, talk to you later. And we're going to extend the free invitation for citizen officials to come to Social Tech Live to listen to Dr. Lisa on how to get more connected in your cities. So thank you again, Dr. Lisa.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.